The Student in the Empty Room. Sarah's Last Night, Spring 2013. In a small American college town, a physics student disappears inside her own home. There were no signs of a struggle, no witnesses. 3 years later, a man who moved into that house found something so unsettling that it reopened a case the police had already closed. The Brilliant Mind.
Sarah Mitchell was 19 years old and a sophomore majoring in applied physics at Colorado State University. She was a reserved, perfectionist young woman, a lover of astronomy and home experiments. Her room resembled a makeshift laboratory: wires, generators, notebooks filled with formulas, and an old handycam. Her best friend, Jessica Park, recalls,
Sarah talked about energy, about resonances, about how everything vibrates. She said that the human body is just one frequency on the scale of the universe. The night of April 23rd, Sarah lived alone in a small rented house near campus, owned by a retired professor. That night, her neighbors saw her arrive with a box of electronic components. At 9:38 p.m., she posted her last message on Twitter. "If this works, it will be beautiful." The next morning, the door was locked from the inside. Her car was still outside. Her laptop was on, but she was gone. The impossible scene: police found no signs of violence. On the living room floor was a perfectly symmetrical circular burn mark, as if lightning had struck from within. The wall clock had stopped at exactly 10:07 p.m. On the table, an incomplete note. "Don't be afraid if you hear the buzzing, it's just..." The line ends abruptly. The officers suspected an electrical shock, but there were no blown fuses, no smell of burning, only a faint scent of ozone. The E9 project. On the computer, the FBI found a folder called E9. It contained formulas, diagrams, and a text file. Schumann resonance, 7.83 Hz, vital frequency. If I can synchronize the field, I will be able to see what lies between the heartbeats of the world. Professor Edward Langley, an expert in electromagnetism, stated, "E9 appears to be an attempt to create a field resonant with the Earth's natural pulse. If it was activated uncontrollably, no one knows what might have happened." 3 years of silence. During 2013 and 2014, there were no new leads. The Mitchell case became a college legend, the girl who played with the vacuum. Her parents moved to another state, exhausted by the search, until 2016, when the house was sold to Tom Reed, an electrical technician. Reed decided to renovate the basement and noticed something strange. While moving a drywall panel behind a shelf, he found a metal box wrapped in black tape with an old handycam camera inside. The tape. The camera still had battery power. There was only one file: E9 Final MP4. The video showed Sarah, visibly nervous, surrounded by makeshift electrical equipment. Day 142. "I've adjusted the field to 7.83 Hz. If the theory is correct, space will respond with its own echo." She connects wires, takes a deep breath. "If this fails, tell Mom she was right about the light." A low hum fills the room. The lights flicker. Sarah raises her hand in front of the camera. Her skin appears to distort, as if transparent, for a second. Then the image cuts out. Duration: 3 minutes, 52 seconds. The forensic analysis FBI experts confirmed that there were no edits or digital manipulation. The electrical pattern recorded by the camera matched a 7.8 Hz pulse that occurred that same night, detected by atmospheric sensors 30 kilometers away. Researcher Miles Cooper commented, "She triggered a resonance, but what happened next is beyond any known physical parameters." The black notebook inside the metal box was also a small notebook with notes. "Energy isn't destroyed, it just changes planes. I can hear the echo of my voice before I speak. The E9 doesn't open a portal, it opens a coincidence." On the last page, If the field holds, I'll return when everything vibrates the same. The effects. After handing over the camera, Tom Reed began reporting strange phenomena, lights turning on by themselves, buzzing sounds at exactly 10:07 p.m. And one night, while checking her email, she heard a female voice coming from her laptop. The 2019 signals. 3 years after the video was discovered, the National Energy Laboratory detected an electromagnetic anomaly at the same frequency, 7.83 Hz. The signal lasted 17 seconds and contained a binary pattern that, when translated, formed a simple phrase, "I am not lost." Researchers were never able to reproduce it. The myth. The Sarah Mitchell case became a phenomenon on social media and science and mystery forums. Some considered her a victim of a failed experiment, others the first human to achieve a frequency jump. On YouTube, her leaked video surpassed 60 million views before being removed by order of the FBI. A young student disappeared in 2013. 3 years later, her own camera explained what science still cannot. Perhaps Sarah Mitchell was not a victim of the void, but its discovery. The E9 recordings. After 3 years of silence, a tape forgotten on a wall brought back a lost voice. Sarah Mitchell's recordings not only documented an experiment, but also a message. A message that, according to experts, could not have been recorded by a living human being. The makeshift lab FBI investigators moved all the material from Sarah's house to a high-security laboratory. Among the items seized were a coil of copper wire wound in a spiral, several modified power transformers, and a laptop with a damaged hard drive. The Impossible Echo agent Miles Cooper explains on camera, "That file couldn't have existed. The computer had been sealed since 2013, but the timestamp was verified. Someone or something wrote it from inside the system." Technicians also detected a hidden recording. The audio spectrum contained a female voice whispering amidst the white noise, "Listen to me, don't shut down the frequency." The echo scientist quantum physicist, Dr. Laura Nguyen, was hired as a consultant. Sarah wasn't building an energy machine, but a resonant cavity. Basically, a room designed to vibrate matter at the same rate as the planet. If she succeeded, her entire body would have entered an interference zone. Nguyen looks at the camera. At that point, you're neither alive nor dead, just out of phase. The E9 files. The FBI decoded the video files and found 5 additional recordings. 1. Sarah experimenting with water. Sound travels beyond the molecule. 2. A lamp turns off by itself. 3. She shouts something that sounds like "not now." 4. Just noise. 5. The camera records the ceiling while a deep heartbeat is heard. The Reed House. The new owner, Tom Reed, allowed electromagnetic sensors to be placed in his basement. For 3 consecutive nights, the teams recorded faint discharges identical to the pattern in the 2013 video. On the 4th night, a thermal camera captured a blurry female silhouette standing in the center of the circle. The return experiment. Based on Sarah's equations, Dr. Nguyen's team partially reconstructed the E9 generator in a government laboratory. The goal, to test whether it was possible to reproduce the resonance. At 10:07 p.m., the same time as Sarah's stop clock, the generator emitted a pulse, the lights flickered, and the microphones recorded a voice. "Don't repeat my mistake." The test was immediately cancelled. The 2019 signal. 3 years after the camera was found, an atmospheric observatory detected an anomaly, a binary pattern exactly as Sarah had calculated, repeating for 17 seconds. Translated into ASCII text, it read, "I am not lost." The origin coordinates matched the neighborhood where she disappeared. The campus hacker. A computer science student, Alex Rowe, revealed that he accessed an old university network where he found an active user named S. Mitchell 2013. The profile had connected from his home IP address. Logs showed automated messages sent at 10:07 p.m. every night. E9 stable. E9 responds. E9 sees me. The hearings. With the new evidence, the FBI officially reopened the case. At the 2020 public hearing, investigator Cooper stated, "There is no evidence of homicide or escape. What we have is unprecedented scientific evidence. Sarah Mitchell could be alive, but at a point in her life that we don't understand." The case was classified as an unidentified energy phenomenon. The digital will in 2021, Sarah's parents received an envelope with no return address. Inside was a USB drive with a single file, E9 return to movie. The image shows a dark hallway. A female voice says, "Don't look back, just listen." By reversing the audio, a phrase is clearly audible. "I'm on the frequency." The human echo. Dr. Nguyen compares the phenomenon to a resonant consciousness recording. Sarah could have left an energetic imprint of her mind. If that's true, every time the planet vibrates at 783 Hz, part of it is reactivated. Images show scientists measuring the electromagnetic field of the area, while an almost imperceptible hum is heard.